Welcome to NightCap Live. I'm Dan Dunn, and I'm here to help you break out of your quarantine life, connect with people over a drink without endangering other people. This is a collaboration between Flaviar and Collider, and I want to extend a welcome to both audiences or wherever you're joining from. I think a couple of my friends are on here. I invite you to chime in with questions and comments. We'll be addressing those throughout the broadcast. First off, I want to acknowledge the seriousness of the situation we're in. It's frightening. Life is fundamentally different than it was just a couple of weeks ago, and I suspect it's never going to feel the same way again. For as great a job as people have been doing adapting, the truth is we're not wired for this, for social distancing. This level of isolation is unnatural to the bulk of humanity. It certainly is for me, and I don't know what's going to happen. I want to believe we're going to get through this together, that this is going to pass eventually. In the meantime, we're just going to have to do whatever we can to help one another. We got to try and focus on the good stuff, on the things that bring happiness. And this thing we're doing right now is our little way of pitching into that effort. And I'm really glad you're here with me. So cheers to that. Yeah. So our guest today on the show, got two, but our special guest is actor Oliver Cooper, who's going to be coming on in just a few minutes. And then a little later, we're going to be joined by Steve Luttmann. Steve is the proprietor of today's sponsor, Hercules Mulligan. I think I make a good sponsor spokesperson. Yeah. Hercules Mulligan is a blend of rum and rye inspired by its namesake, which is a really cool story, a Revolutionary War hero. We're going to get into all of that in just a bit with Steve. It's a very cool thing. So I'm coming at you today from inside a highly fortified bunker somewhere in Venice, California. Try to find me. I'm holed up here with my dog, my streaming services, and my alcohol. It's been about 15 days, which is the equivalent of 9 coronavirus years. Like many of you, I've been doing two things regularly with my hands, washing them, and since we're going to be hanging out, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I've been covering the adult beverage beat for many years. I'm the former nightlife columnist for Playboy magazine. I've written for a few TV shows. I've been on a few, too. I had a show called Happy Hour on Sirius XM. Currently, I'm the resident drinks expert for the Adam Carolla Show. Hi to all the Adam Carolla fans out there. And I am the host of the wildly popular podcast, What We're Drinking with Dan Dunn, which is available everywhere podcasts stream. Plug. We had some great guests on that show. We have Matthew McConaughey, Maynard James Keenan, Florida Georgia Line, Dita Von Teese. This very Friday coming up, I'm going to be posting a brand new episode with my old pal back from our Talk Soup days, Aisha Tyler. That's going to be great. Please check it out. And if you like pictures, there's pictures. I'm on the Instagram at The Imbiber and Twitter at The Imbiber. Okay. Like I said, we got Oliver Cooper, just a few minutes, and then a little later, Steve Luttmann. But first, I want to tell you about a contest. That's right. We're doing a contest right here, right now. Prize is a quarterly Flaviar membership. For those of you who don't know, Flaviar is a premium spirits club. You get a curated tasting box every quarter. It contains stuff like this that you can do this to. It's a full-size bottle every quarter, and you get limited editions and other brands that are only available to members only, and, of course, the much, much more. So here's how we're going to do this. Here's the contest. If you want to get out a pen and paper, I'll wait. All right, you ready? Stuck in the house, streaming movies. I have personally watched 73 fucking movies over the past week. So here's what I'm looking for. Top 5 movie scenes that involve drinking. I'm not talking about scenes of getting trashed. Trash. I mean, it could be, but I want like powerful, dramatic, funny scenes in which alcohol plays a key role. For example, there's the USS Indianapolis scene from Jaws. I shouldn't have to explain it to you, but if I do, Quint and Brody and Hooper are down the bottom of the boat. They're drinking, they're singing, they're having a good time. And then boom, gets serious, and Quint lays some shit on them about being on the USS Indianapolis, which was the boat that delivered the atomic bomb in World War II. Powerful. That's what I'm talking about. Or there's also the famous Will Ferrell beer bong scene from Old School. Thad, can you run that clip? There you go. Lovely. You see, funny stuff. Again, that's what we're looking for. 5 best drinking scenes. Keep it brief. There's no need to write the whole scene out. Just put Will Ferrell beer bong scene from Old School. That'll suffice. But you can't use that one. That's mine. So start firing those lists at us. Get in your chat. Send it at us. And then stay tuned to the end to find out if you won a Flaviar membership. Judging will be done by a distinguished panel that could be just me or it could be my guests. I haven't figured it out yet. So again, thanks for being here. I got my Hercules Mulligan. I want to raise a toast. I'm hoping that if you're out there, you're getting your drink on too. So cheers. I'm assuming most of you are. I saw a report today on this website called The Spirits Business that said alcohol sales grew by 33% in March compared to March of last year. So clearly, you're all staying lubricated while quarantining. I think that's a good idea. Last thing you want to be doing right now is watching the Tiger King while sober. All right. What do I want to do? That should be, yeah, let's do it. All right. They're texting it. They're messaging at me here. I'm going to bring on Oliver Cooper. He burst onto the scene back in 2012, starred in the mega hit movie Project X, which a group of youngsters have the biggest party of all time in Pasadena, and they destroy it, house and everything. Great movie. Todd Phillips produced it, of Joker fame. Old School. I think he did that one. Yeah. Since then, Oliver has been in The Hangover Part 3, Californication, Red Oaks on Amazon, one of my favorite shows the last few years, Valley of the Boom. He recently did a guest spot on Mindhunter. He played notorious serial killer Son of Sam, and he should have won a friggin' Emmy for that. That's how good he was. But here he is in a clip in action on Californication. Thad, roll that, please.
My Aunt Jessie stayed with us for a few days, and it was right around the time I started jerking off. So she leaves a pair of her panties behind, and I used to snip them while I hit it. Really enhanced the orgasm, you know? Then I started to feel like weird and guilty about it. So I told my mom. She was so fucking cool about it. She was pretty hot for an aunt, though, Aunt Jessie.
Maybe I should rethink this thing.
My mom's a great lady. She deserves to have fun with men. Gross. Just be cool, okay? Anyone can be a dick. Be a gentleman, you know? Think about it like if I was gonna date your mom.
My mom is dead.
My God, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. Was she hot?
Look at that handsome man right there. Oliver Cooper, how are you, buddy?
What's going on, dude? How you doing?
It's good to see you, my friend. Thanks for joining us. You got a little Hercules Mulligan there with you? We raised
I got to pour it. I thought maybe you wanted to see me pour it or something. I got water.
Let's see a real actor at work here. Now that's water. Chug. God, committed. He's committed. All right, let's see the pour.
All right, here it is. Right here. Here's the booze. Hercules Mulligan. Smells good. Now, should I do it with a little ice, or did you say? I mean, I don't mind.
I think ice is the way to go, my friend. I've got this. I've brought cubes with me. I'm ready to go.
I'm gonna throw an ice cube in this. You guys just.
I'll tell a joke.
Tell a joke.
Okay, this couple is at home in bed. It's 3:00 in the morning, in the middle, dead of winter. They hear a loud knock on the door. The husband looks at the thing. He says, "Who the hell's knocking on the door at 3 a.m.?" He rolls over, and the wife says, "No, you got to go answer it." So he puts on his robe, and he trudges downstairs, and he opens the door, and there's a guy standing there, and he's clearly drunk in the middle of the snowstorm. He says, "Excuse me, can I get a push?" And the guy says, "A push? What are you talking about? You shouldn't be driving, first of all. It's 3:00 in the morning. No, I'm not giving you a push." And he slams the door shut, and he trudges back upstairs, and he gets in bed. He tells his wife, and his wife says, "Honey, you can't leave him out there all alone. Remember the time our car broke down and that man helped us, saved our lives? You got to go out there. You got to help him." This is the Christian thing to do. The guy says, oh, Jesus. All right. Puts on his robe again. He trudges back down the stairs, gets there, opens the door, and the guy's not there. Blinding snow. He yells at him, he says, hey, you still out there? And in the distance, he hears the guy say, yeah. He goes, do you still need a push? The guy says, yeah. He says, where are you? And he goes, I'm over here on your swing set.
I missed the part of that. So
Everybody's so mad at me now that you went to get ice because I subjected him to that. All right, Oliver Cooper is back. Dude, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. I'm trying to make the best of this situation.
Yeah, how are you surviving? Because I got to figure, like everybody else, I mean, you, full disclosure, Oliver and I are friends. I know he was out, you were doing a lot of auditioning and doing you had a bunch of stuff going. And like everybody else, it just stopped. How are you?
I'm a lot of porn.
Yeah.
Streaming lots of stuff now.
Not me.
Honestly, I've tried to. I actually been in some ways trying to get healthier than I've probably been in years. I just go running in the morning, come back here. I've been doing a lot more reading than I, just kind of doing that stuff that when the Sunday kind of feeling when you don't have a lot to do and you want to, just a lot of reading, watching movies. What's that?
But now it's every day. That's Sunday feeling.
All day. And just try to keep your, there's a lot of, as an actor, I'm actually as an actor, you're the most suited for this because we go through periods where we don't work, where you're not working. Even successful actors, you go 3 months, you're not working. So
Wait. Stop with the even. So you're a successful actor, man. You've been in a lot of things.
Even like Brad Pitt, he might take off 3 months. It's like you're always, even if you're a really successful actor, you're not really working all that often. Even when you're on jobs, they're like, Oliver, we need you on Tuesday, and then we don't need you again until next Wednesday. You're like, all right. So I'm so used to finding things to do to keep myself busy that it's not actually that unusual for me. I mean, I feel the thing that's weird about this time is obviously that people are dying and that it's like, you're like, wait, I don't know. I feel like, do I need to walk outside and wear gloves? And like, I don't even know I don't think anyone really knows what the hell is going on out there. That's
the thing, and I tried to address that at the top of the show. Is like, frankly, like I had my doubts about stuff like this, but then I realized, like, what I'm doing at home, what's getting me through this, man. Besides books, it's books, it's podcasts, it's TV shows, it's the thing to. There's only so much I think that we can, as human beings, we can digest. If you're on a steady diet of doom and gloom, even though that is what's happening. And I do understand that, you understand that, but I feel like the only way to survive mentally is to take a break, take a time out, have a drink, talk to some friends, do what we're doing right now.
I know it's hard to see it, but I think there is a silver lining in this that I think people, should take this opportunity to slow down and to, reflect on their lives and not be, we're in such a mode of like, gotta succeed. We're all running like with our heads cut off, trying to accomplish all this stuff, and then we die. That's life. It's like, I think it's a good time to be like, the whole world is shutting down, and for 1 or 2 months, you don't have any expectations of you other than to sit in your house and watch TV or read or whatever you want to do. And
right, and it's going. I don't think the world's ever going to go back to the way it was. I think it's going to be transformative. And that's the thing. I think as people, we have to look at this if you can. And again, it's scary what's happening and what we know is going to happen. But at the same time, sort of take the opportunity to go, I'm reflecting on everything in my life because none of us have ever experienced anything like this, right? So it's like, what am I going to be after this? There's going to be an after this. There is going to be an after this. And what am I going to be? And how am I going to live differently? Because I don't feel like any of us are going to be able to live the same way again. And
I think for the best. I really do. I think it'll make you kind of appreciate your life more and your time more, and you'll realize what you really want to do with your life. I don't know. I mean, what do I know? But that's what I
Hey, you want to do an awkward segue? So let's talk about Project X.
Let's talk about some. Let's talk about a party.
Remember that movie you did where everybody was naked and crazy and doing drugs? Well, I did mention scenes from a movie that were great scenes with drinking involved, and one of my favorites too had to be the scene in Project X where you guys go up on the roof to jump off the roof.
You know, it's funny when you mentioned this to me about the drinking, or when you mentioned in the show the drinking, famous scenes where people are drinking. I was like, I was thinking about Project X, and I was like, this is how bad my fucking memory is. Can I say the F word on here? I don't even know. Is that, yeah, right? All right,
yes. I'm gonna stop.
I don't even know what I'm doing. But
here comes the government. No. Yeah.
They like shut me off, mute me.
Fuck,
but I can't even remember. I was like, what? Like, I'm like, I know there's a ton of drinking in that movie, but that movie, like the whole movie, there's drinking. So I don't even know.
Was there actual drinking on the set though? Where people the actually had to be, right?
Warner Brothers would probably they would probably get sued for that. I think. Well, this is not firsthand knowledge. I do not know anything for facts, but I did hear that because the thing about that movie is we had like 500 extras and they were partying the whole thing. It felt like a party. Like they would play, the director Nemo would play the music. Like we had a DJ. His name's DJ Jesse Marco, who was also in the movie. But in between takes, he was like playing music and the place was erupting. And we were there like 5 a.m. And I remember we had these guys who worked on the movie that were paying off the neighbors behind the lot because we shot on the Warner Brothers ranch lot.
Not call the cops.
What's that?
To not call the cops.
Yeah, they mean like that was there's a guy's job who was like paying off neighbors. Like I don't even know how much money. Not call the cops because we shot all nights. And where was I going with this though? We were talking about. I'm just gonna segue this into something.
Let's have another
drink. But
hey, by the way, what's incredible to me is that was your first audition, wasn't it?
Yeah, first audition.
That was the first audition you ever went on. And
Did I tell you the story of how I got that audition?
No.
That's actually the best part of it. I mean, it's the most crazy story. So I'm in an acting class in LA, and this like 40-year-old guy with a ponytail, I forget his name. He comes out and he's like, he was talking about how Todd Phillips, who did The Hangover and Old School, was doing was doing an online casting for his new movie, looking for unknowns, young like high school kids. And I'm looking at this guy like thinking like, this dude's like 40 years old. Like, what the hell is he gonna do? Is he gonna book a high school movie? And then happened to go like right across the street. This is all happened just like this. I went right across the street. One of the guys I knew, another guy from the school that I knew, was like my age. He was going in on an audition. He had like an agent. And no one I knew really even had agents. Like that was like an agent, you know, that kind of thing. And so he's running this audition, and he's like, would you help me with it? I was like, yeah, sure. I'm like, what's this for? He happened to actually be going in on this Todd Phillips movie. I was like, no shit, I think I was just talking about it. I put it together. So I take his audition sides, which is like the pages that the few pages of the movie that you audition with. And I took them. I said, yo, can I take a copy of these? I made a copy of them. I went to my buddy Sean Weiss, who was Goldberg the goalie from the Mighty Ducks movies. Okay. And I met him doing stand-up. And so we kind of became really close friends. He was sort of like was this odd mentor to me, but he was going through a lot of stuff in his life at the time, and actually is as well now. I don't know if people kept up with him, but he's had a lot of drug problems. But I went to him and I was like, yo, I need help me get an audition. We like snuck on the Warner Brothers lot. We filmed an audition. He acted as my manager. Sent it to his old manager. Yeah, sent it to his old manager, and like his old manager was like didn't respond or anything. Finally, he emails Judd Apatow and asks for he said, this is the last favor I'll ever ask you. He said, Oliver is the next Adam Sandler. Not that I actually think that I am, but he said all these really nice things. And lo and behold, Judd Apatow gets me an audition with the casting office. They give him I had to have a manager's name, so they gave them this guy, Jeff Maroney, who was Sean's old manager. Give him his contact information. Jeff gets a call and he's like, Oliver, who's Oliver? And then he puts it together. And then the fact that I went in on all these auditions and I went on 9 auditions and got the part And Sean would show up to me he would show up with every audition, and he'd like talk shit to kids in the waiting room. He'd be like, this guy's meeting with Judd Apatow after this and all this shit.
How old were you then?
I was 19.
Holy shit. Jesus.
Yeah.
Amazing, man. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Right now. What's that?
I couldn't happen to a nicer guy. I mean that.
Sean had a seizure at before one of my biggest callbacks. We were running lines, and he had a seizure I remember in the street, and an ambulance had to come pick him up, and he couldn't even afford to get in the ambulance. I took him back home, and he dropped him off, and he gave me like that like Yoda speech. He's like, "I've taken you as far as I can, kid." It's like it was the craziest story ever. I mean, one of the craziest. Like people always ask me, "How do you get into show business?" And I can't even like say, "Here's how you do it." Like by yourself.
There's no blueprint for the way you did it, and you hear those stories all the time. By the way, we're getting some people in commenting here with their movie choices. So Oliver, you and I are going to be the judge and jury on this, and maybe Steve later when he comes in. So this is Kevin W. Eeks. He said the Team America bazooka puking scene, which is one of the greatest scenes of all in Team America. Oh, yeah. When he goes outside of the bar and just throws up for like 5 minutes straight. That's a classic scene. Brian D says Beer Fest, Beer Olympics. Care to chime in on that one? You've seen Beer Fest?
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember the Beer Olympics. I don't remember the details of it. My memory is horrible. I know the movie, and I always like.
Do you remember my name?
No. What's your name again?
So Rick Reed on Facebook says Rodney Dangerfield's party in Back to School. That's before your time, but that is an amazing scene with Rodney. Robert Downey Jr. is in that movie. It was a great one. Cecilia here in Los Angeles gives top 5. The Shining, Jack Nicholson at the bar. Do you remember when he's imagining the bartender Lloyd? Incredible. Train spotting, Begbie chugging the pint, then throwing the glass into the crowd.
Yep.
Pretty damn good. Shaun of the Dead, drinking pints and eating peanuts in the pub while the zombies break their way in. And then Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, the opening scene with Marion. I don't remember that. You remember this one?
No, not at all.
Where you go? Steven, you out of here?
No, I'm just moving. I'm sitting down on the couch.
All right. And then finally, 10 Things I Hate About You, Julia Stiles dancing on the table. So far, that's the winner because so far, I want to see a lot more. Keep them coming, Keith. But that's 5. We need 5. So, Oliver, you got it. Throw one out for you. You can't win, but throw one out.
Oh, God. What was the one I was thinking? Now I'm blanking out. Give me a second. I'll come back to it.
Give you a second. So I want to talk to you a little bit more about the things you've done subsequently. Red Oaks, such a great show, man. What'd you guys get? 3 seasons on Red Oaks on Amazon?
Yeah.
There was a time when you thought maybe you were going to get 4, right?
No, we knew because they picked up the 3rd season for they were 3rd and final. So it's kind of nice to know because that's the worst part about doing those shows is you do it and you're like, oh, this is amazing. Especially that show. That's that was I've been on other shows for a season, like Californication and stuff. But that was my, not mine alone, but that was my show. I was part of it.
You had a great prominent role in that show.
Yeah, and we were just part of a cast and we were all sort of a family. So it was after every season, you're like, oh God, I hope this doesn't end, and you're you don't know. And so then they pick it up and you're like, yes, one more season. So it always felt like that. And then the 3rd and final one, they just picked up for the 3rd and final. It was always kind of a culty kind of show. I think people love it, but never was it's not like Stranger Things or something where it's a zeitgeist.
Well, yeah. Right. Well, I'm going to throw out a couple names of people that you've worked with. You've worked some really cool people. First thing that comes off your head, could be even word association here. People you have worked with in your career, what pops into your mind? Here we go. David Duchovny.
Amazing guy. Hilarious, super smart. Charming, handsome.
Okay. Paul Reiser.
Sweetheart. Just the loveliest guy ever, like fatherly mentor kind of guy.
Heather Graham.
Beautiful, sweet. Definitely have a crush on her. You want to hear a funny Heather Graham story? What's that? So
well,
I went.
Heather Graham. You know my Heather Graham story, but that was
I get your Heather Graham story.
Hey,
Tell me that. So I go to before the show starts. She was playing my mom, and I go to meet. We wanted to like hang out one night beforehand. So we get sushi, and we had this great time together, like a really good time. But it was at Katsuya in Studio City, which is like sort of like a hotbed for like celebrities. So we're leaving, and me and her go out, and like the paparazzi start like snapping photos of us together, and she takes off and starts running. And like just leaves me there. I'm just like standing there as paparazzi are just kind of shooting. They don't know who I am at all. And so and I'm just like standing there. And eventually I walked to my car, and she like just like, you know, ran off in her car. Then she called me afterwards, and I was like, what the hell was that about? I was like, why'd she do that? And then it hit me. I was like, oh yeah, they're probably gonna like create some story that she's dating this like young kid. Like, I don't know.
Hey, by the way, we got a caller on the line here, special guest. This is pretty incredible. With going to give us his top five movies. Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman's on the line. Wow. Yeah, let's bring him in. Morgan, you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hey, wow, what an honor, Morgan Freeman.
Wow.
So great to have.
Wonders of technology.
So you're watching, and how you been? How you surviving?
I'm listening. I'm multitasking. You know, we're all becoming experts on multitasking, and I've been listening. And I want to tell you that frankly, I thought that playground swing joke was pretty good.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I'm going to steal that one.
Morgan, do you know Oliver? Have you guys ever worked together before?
Oliver, do you recall if we've ever worked together?
I don't think so, but I'm a huge fan of yours.
Well, right back at you. Right back at you.
You sure you weren't in March of the Penguins, Oliver? I could have sworn I
was a penguin, actually. Yeah.
There's a lot of uncredited penguins in that movie. Most of them.
The amazing thing about that was they didn't actually have to put me in any sort of makeup or costume. It just like I blended right in with the penguin.
Body type, the whole thing. Mr. Freeman, is it Mr. Freeman or Morgan? What should I call you?
You can call me Morgan. That's fine.
Morgan, so do you have apparently it says here you've got a list of your top 5 movies, drinking scenes?
I don't know if I have 5. Let's see. You mentioned that the best one, which is the Jaws scene. I mean, that's Robert Shaw and Roy Scheider and I can't remember the other fellow's name. Anyway, Richard Dreyfuss, of course, marvelous actor. That's a great scene. You know, I couldn't help but think when the question first appeared, I couldn't help thinking about back in the, this predates all y'all, but in the 1930s, drinking had just come off of prohibition, you know. So everybody in the movies was drinking all through the movie. I'm thinking of the Thin Man movies in particular with William Powell and Myrna Loy, and they're just going from highball to highball. Alcohol is almost a character in those movies. You've probably never seen them. They're black and white.
No, I've seen they actually have a glass named after that the movie as well.
Oh, is that right? Oh, yeah.
Anything you know made after 1950 or? Yeah,
more contemporary for sure. Well, Sideways with Paul Giamatti. It's a great movie. That's a little high class. That's about wine, but it's about drinking, and it's about drinking to excess and vintages and all that. And that's a very good film.
Mr. Freeman, what are you up to these days? I know we're all on quarantine, but you haven't seen you in a movie in a while. Are you still doing the films?
Oh, I've got a few that are going to come out for sure. I don't know when. Now everything's been pushed, you know. But I'm just handling things around the house. I'm like y'all. I'm just wandering around, trying to make myself useful, trying to figure out where this is all heading, you know. And luckily, I've got a lot of property, so I can walk around all day.
You know what's amazing is I personally find myself talking to myself a lot because we're alone. It must be awesome for you because people call you the voice of God. So to be able to talk to yourself, it's like God is talking to you all day.
It is. It's a unique pleasure. I just go around. Sometimes I'll just pick up a cereal box and read the ingredients, you know, just to just to make myself feel more secure.
Wow. Well, I can't tell you what an honor it is to have. By the way, Oliver and I are working on a screenplay together.
All right.
Would it be okay if we send it over to you? Maybe.
What's the pitch? What's the short pitch? Because I'll know right away if it's something I'm interested
he
in.
plays a guy that sings the national anthem at cockfights in Mexico, and he falls in
mhm.
love. Classic story of love and birds, roosters.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Hang on to that one. Keep developing that one. We'll see who else gets attached to it.
I love it. Oliver, any questions for Morgan Freeman?
Wait, so Morgan, you wouldn't want to work with me on this cockfighting movie? It's a good one.
Well, no, I'm not shooting it down. It's certainly unexplored territory. Speaking of cockfights, that movie Cocktail was another good boozy bar movie. with Tom
I was
Cruise.
waiting for somebody to bring up Cocktail.
Animal House.
And I think
Mhm.
we got so many coming in right now. Mr. Freeman, I can't thank you enough for calling in to this.
No, you can't.
No, I can't possibly thank you enough.
No, neither of y'all could. All right, well, listen, I'll get back to work, and so will I. Take care now. Good luck.
Wow.
Morgan,
Oliver,
that was incredible.
who knew? Who
Maybe
knew?
the greatest actor of all time.
Yeah, probably. Hey, by the way, we got a couple more coming in. Big Baby Tex on Collider came in top 5. Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh shit.
The Titty Twister was a bar I would love to go to. I love that movie. Corolla Milk Bar scene from Clockwork Orange. I want to go there and get wasted on milk. Let me make sure we get this guy, Big Baby Tiger. Stay away from him. Then Rampage, If Only I Wasn't Lactose Intolerant. Crocodile Dundee, where Mick grabbed. Oh, yeah, we can't do that. Olive Roadhouse, and somebody else. Star Wars bar. Oh, the Star Wars bar scene. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to get this straightened out, Oliver, later.
I have to vote. You vote.
We'll vote. But you know what we're gonna do right now? We're gonna bring on Steve because we need to. Steve Luttmann is the proprietor of Hercules Mulligan. Steve started LeBlanc Cachaça. Cachaça fans out there, LeBlanc. Now Steve's latest thing is Hercules Mulligan. And Steve, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Man.
What's happening? How you doing, Dan?
Oliver,
Hey, Oliver. Nice
Nice to meet you, Steve.
to meet you. How you doing?
Good, thank you.
So,
Love
Steve,
your
we are
work.
doing this. First thing first, let's raise a glass. I hope you got
Yeah.
one.
Let me pour here. Cheers.
Cheers.
Stand for something. That would be our toast, our Hercules Mulligan saying.
Steve, how are you quarantining, man? How are you
I
getting through?
mean, so I have my own little pandemic going on. I came back from Austria, where I was skiing in Ischgl, which if you Google Ischgl, it's actually a major hotspot. And the good news, I didn't get coronavirus. I broke my shoulder in 5 places right here. So it's actually worked out pretty well.
Coronavirus?
Well, I don't think so. That's another story. I may have gotten a touch of it, but had to get some shoulder surgery and get a plate put in. So I would have been locked in place anyway. So I'm here on the Upper West Side, 84th Street, right across from the park. And to be honest, I'm going crazy. So it's great to talk to you guys.
You know what you could make you feel better and lighter is you put on some fucking lights, Steve. What's going on over there?
That's right. Yeah.
Maybe that's
I don't
why
have
you're feeling so
a
low.
lighting engineer like you guys, man. I'm here in the dark in my
We got
my
the
living room.
California sun coming in.
Yeah.
So, Steve, Hercules Mulligan, man, I am digging this, something proper. Tell us about the brand.
Yeah. So I'm a history guy and was reading about 5 years ago Hamilton, the Ron Chernow book. Like everybody, loved the book. It was before the musical came out. And a friend of a friend, through my last business, I met the guy, Ron Chernow, wrote the book. And I asked him about this guy, Hercules Mulligan. The name was just popped out at me. And I said, who was this guy? And that's when he told me a little bit more about him. And he turned me on to, he told me, go to the New York Historical Society, go to the library, and you'll find this book on Mulligan. and that's what just turned me on. I mean, the guy's like an unknown American hero, Irish immigrant, born in 1740 in Ireland, came in 1746 to New York. His family lived in southern Manhattan. He was basically a tailor. In 1765, when people started not liking the English, he was one of the first to start the Sons of Liberty here in New York, your little secret society underground movement. And what's interesting is when Alexander Hamilton moved to New York from Nevis, from the Caribbean, he came with a letter of introduction to the Mulligan family and became best friends with Hercules Mulligan. They were buddies. They went to King's College, which used to be Columbia, and hung out. The Mulligans, being Irish, don't like the English. They converted Alexander Hamilton to the American side. Long story short, when the British occupied the island of Manhattan, Mulligan decided to stay with his tailor shop down in what's now Pearl Street, then called Queen Street, and he became a spy, a secret spy for General Washington and for Alexander Hamilton. And in those days, your tailor shop was kind of like a speakeasy, or kind of a men's club during the day.
It's where people hung out. People
would hang out. They would smoke cigars, play cards, drink. Just banter. It was kind of a men's club. And Manhattan, as you guys know, was occupied by the British. So the British officers and soldiers would hang out there. And Mulligan would, serve drinks, get them a little tipsy. They'd start talking a little bit more, get their secrets, and would feed them on to Hamilton and Washington. And he saved Washington's life on 2 occasions, saved the French Armada from being decimated off the coast of Rhode Island. So, I mean, the guy was a real American hero.
By the way, saving me right now and Oliver.
Right.
Interminable loneliness. Yes.
Two more to that.
So Hercules. So when the war ended, Washington literally went into New York in November 1783, and he beelined it right to Hercules Mulligan's house, had breakfast with him, and gave him a big bag of gold. And just told everybody. Everyone thought he was a traitor. He thought he was a British sympathizer, and they were gonna tar and feather him, and who knows what they were gonna do with him. But that was really the inspiration for Hercules Mulligan rum and rye.
And by the way, point that out. So rum and rye was a drink that people were drinking back then.
Yeah, people were mixing all sorts of spirits, predominantly the major spirits of the day: rum, rye, and brandy. Rum was coming up from the Caribbean, and rye was being produced externally in the outlying areas of New York. And so it was a natural act to mix rum and rye. So, an old historical recipe, we add a little Irish flair by adding a ginger maceration with some bitters. So it's kind of a colonial old-fashioned, if you will, craft cocktail in a bottle.
Yeah, that's the thing I think that's really cool about right now is like it's a self-contained thing. You buy this, put it on some ice, it's ready to go. What's the price point on this thing?
It's $38, and the recipe is this: you take the glass, you put ice in it, and you pour it. That's the recipe.
Wait, one more time.
Yeah. Well, I have to drink this right. You take it, put ice in, pour, and drink.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
In these troubled times,
yeah,
we can all appreciate that simplicity, Steve.
It's all you need to do. Yeah,
guys, I want to, Steve, I want to get you in on this. We got a couple more things coming in here. People's lists. We have the Real Yoda. I don't know about that. Real Yoda. All right, the Real Yoda on Collider. Top 5 drinking scenes from a movie: The Cantina from Return of the Jedi. The bar scene in Total Recall. 3 boomed women rock. I don't know what that means. Quark's Bar from Deep Space Nine. I feel like the Real Yoda has a genre that they're very interested in here. Tech Noir in Terminator. That place looked like fun until it got all shot up. Club Hell in The Matrix. I like the dark stuff. Anybody? Right. Oliver? Steve? Any comments?
I'm not familiar with that.
No.
I think about like the classics, like Casablanca. That has a great, at the bar there, that one scene.
Of course, yeah. What else you got? What else? Casablanca. What else? How about the entire movie, Arthur? Dudley
Oh,
Moore.
yeah,
The entire movie.
that's great.
It's
Yeah.
What
Or The
about
Shining.
Marlon Brando, Streetcar Named Desire?
oh,
Yeah.
damn it.
Yeah.
So much out there. There's
good
so
one.
much. I want to know, does anybody out there have any questions for Steve or Oliver? Questions for Steve and Oliver. Wait, we got one here. Ben from Boston wants to know, Oliver, when are you going to shave off that beard?
when the coronavirus. Actually, I'm actually gonna shave this tomorrow. Really?
Are you?
Really?
Yeah. I gotta shoot something tomorrow, so I'm just by myself, but I gotta shave for it. So yeah.
Another person I wanted to ask you about, Oliver, you work with, and give us the one where is you work with Miles Teller.
It's cracking, bro.
Tell, recent guest on my podcast.
I
See, I'm just
know.
in the plug. If you haven't heard, I have a podcast, What We're Drinking. Listen, Miles Teller. How is he? You work with him on Project X?
Miles is one of the worst people I ever worked with. No, I'm joking. Miles is awesome. Miles is I remember, this is funny. We were both up for the same role in Project X. And I ended up getting the role and he ended up getting a different role in the movie. But I remember when we were up for it, because me and him would both go up for the same role. We did chemistry reads, be like me, Miles. And I said to someone, I was like, Miles is a better actor than me, but I think I'm more right for this role. And I remember saying that to him. But he was just kind of starting out, just like all of us then. But
What about Bradley Cooper?
Bradley Cooper? I never worked with Bradley Cooper. I met him at Saturday Night Live.
Bridesmaids? He wasn't on that one?
No, Hangover 3. I didn't do Bridesmaids.
Oh, Hangover 3. That's right. That's what I meant. Hangover 3.
I had such a small thing. I just worked with Ed Helms on that. Like, because I worked with Todd on Project X. He asked me to do this small part in Hangover 3, but I only worked with Ed Helms. I played a pharmacy assistant. I didn't really work with any. I met Bradley Cooper randomly, years later at Saturday Night Live when I was watching.
Steve, what do you think of Bradley Cooper?
Oh, he's the best.
Yeah.
I mean, he's fantastic. He can go funny. He can go serious. He's
an actor.
He's got a good array.
We look alike. That's what people tell me.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, it just came up here. Greg Peak on Facebook said the Blues Brothers cowboy bar scene, one of the greatest scenes ever.
Yeah.
Behind the chicken wire, and they're just throwing shit at the thing. That's an amazing scene. Greg Peak, you need 4 more scenes, buddy.
Is John Belushi the fact that he was probably drunk and fucked up on every movie he ever did? Does anything he did?
No. And then, okay, wait. This is a question for Steve from Frank R. As far as drinking it neat, where does this fall? More sweet like the rum or more spicy like the rye? First of all, Frank, why can't Oliver and I be involved in this? Because we're drinking it too. But all right, go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's a ready to drink craft cocktail, so it's definitely like an old fashioned. It's not dry, but it's not too sweet. I'd call it right in the middle,
Okay.
like you would expect from an old fashioned.
Here's the thing, Steve. One of the things we talked about is the name Hercules Mulligan, which is awesome. I think, Oliver, you agree it's an awesome name. And I feel this. I think what's on the bottle can be every bit as important as what's in it. Like, you get some brands that have these like crude, cliched names, and they rarely work, right? Right, Steve, you'd agree, right? They don't work.
Totally.
Yeah. And over the years, I'm sure you have too, I've heard some genuine head scratchers. Some came and went as fast as Stiffy's vodka, and then some lingered. There was one called Donkey Piss, which was the actual name of a reposado tequila that was produced at an award-winning distillery. I'm not going to say the distillery.
I would actually buy that. I would buy that.
Buy Donkey Piss?
Yeah, because it's funny.
Well, there's Ivanovich vodka. I think that's still in the market, isn't it?
I don't know if that's still around. I can tell. So I made a list of a couple that I want to kind of get your feeling. So this isn't so bad, but like there was Tequiza. Remember that? It was a beer. It was tequila and beer. Then there was one called Dry Sack. Dry Sack's been around.
Oh God!
Right? Is it a sherry or is it a condition which like an old guy might need to see a dermatologist? Then you got.
I have that one. That can.
You've had dry neck?
I think I might have the condition, not the.
Oh, you got that? It happens. You got to watch out for that. This is one I don't know. Have you guys ever heard of vodka?
Yeah, I remember that.
Vodka.
I remember that.
First time I saw it, I was like, "Is this something they're marketing to preschool? Or something?"
They had a huge billboard on the Upper West Side for a while there. I remember it.
Like I'm seeing Oompa Loompas and golden tickets and kids getting DUIs on tricycles. It should not be called. That name is way too cute.
I don't know if you remember. Do you know Ian Burrell, the rum ambassador?
Of course, yeah.
Ian, was it 5-6 years ago, put out a press release announcing a new tequila flavored vodka that he was launching. I can't remember the name. And it was literally 5 years ago to the day, because everyone was like, what? And then, about 6 hours later came out the April Fool's, little, I can't remember.
Bishop's Finger Beer. Bishop's Finger Beer.
That's a good one.
Which, by the way, the Vatican denies this beer ever happened.
Right.
And then the best is when you start getting into the ones that are just the sexual innuendo. Like there's, Steve, there's been so many products. So again, one was, no joke, Big Black Dick Rum.
Oh my God.
Creative.
It's the people that brought you Insecurity Cologne and bad feelings go away. Another one called Semen. What's that?
How long did that one last? Big Black Dick Rum.
I think it's still around. I'm not joking. I think it's still around.
It's doing well.
Yeah. Another one was, this is not a joke, Flicker, FLIQUOR, Flicker Bean coffee infused whiskey in the actual fuck. And then secondly, how soon before this becomes the official coffee infused whiskey of the Trump White House? And then we had one that was called, this is not a joke, Balls Vodka.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had enough cheap sexual innuendo yet? No.
I saw a window display of Balls Vodka. I think it's still around.
Nut Liquor, Peanut Butter Vodka, Belching Beaver Beer, Happy Ending Imperial Stout. Are you getting tired of this yet? We're almost there. Fat Cock COQ, Fat Cock Chardonnay, and finally, Popsy Sperm-shaped vanilla cream liqueur.
Oh my God!
Not a joke. An actual product. Google it. All right, we got a couple more people on the list here. We're gonna check it out from the booze things. We got James North on Facebook. All right, this is from our movie scene contest. He said the Big Lebowski Knox Harrington laughing scene. Quote, what the fuck is with this guy? A lot of ins and outs, a lot of what have you. Okay.
Well,
Rushmore, Bill Murray diving board scene. Come on.
That's a good one.
Bill takes.
I like that one.
I already like this guy's taste in movies right now.
All right, we're liking Jimmy North. Roadhouse. Any scene in the bar with that cage. But Jimmy North, he only did 3. We need 5. People are not getting the 5.
Jimmy was winning. If he just adds to that list, I think he's gonna win.
There's only been one person so far that's given 5. I think. Yeah.
Because it's a lot of brain power. You got to really think. I mean, I was like, I know I could probably think of a million movies that I would get great drinking scenes, but you got to.
How about one? You said a million. How about one?
I said one. I said Marlon Brando, Streetcar Named Desire.
One other.
One other one. I was gonna say, the Jackass movie when Steve-O puts a beer bong up his ass. That's a good one. I mean, you can't really beat that.
Steve, can you beat that?
You can't beat that.
No.
That one wins hands down.
You know this right now, Oliver? Steve has a beer bottle up his ass right now. I'll tell you, I'm kidding. I'm totally joking. It's a Hercules Mulligan bottle. Yes.
I really like this. I'm gonna move my thing into the other room and pour another glass of this. I really like it.
Yeah, cool. I love it too.
I'm a big old fashioned fan. So.
By the way, we're going to be wrapping up shortly. So if you got your things, you got to get them in here. Ken Katz says, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Marion Shots Contest, Shining Scene with Johnny and the bartender Lloyd, Goodwill Hunting Bar Scene.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Apples.
I like that one.
Apples one.
It's a good one. Adam Sandler, singer drunk, singing at the bar mitzvah in The Wedding Singer. Great scene. And then I think Ken Katz might win right here. E.T. getting drunk on beer. Come on. Ken Katz. Come on. Let's give it up for Ken Katz. Come on. Who would remember that scene? That's a brilliant scene. Yes.
What about Animal House? There had to have been some good ones in Animal House. I'm just like, I can't think of specifically what.
Well, when he busts the guitar.
Yeah.
I gave my love a cherry that had no stone. And Belushi smashes the guitar and says, sorry. Yeah. Ken, I got Ken. That's Ken Katz. Ken Katz, you're in the lead. Steve, somebody asked the question, and I know you're not going to answer this because he already said it. He says, as far as drinking it neat, where does this? No, that's a different guy. He goes, will you tell us where you source the rum and rye? Or is it a trade secret?
Yeah, it's a blend of 3 on each side. The rye come from a group up, a distiller up in Vermont, and 2 in New York. And the rums come from the Caribbean. We got 1 from Jamaica, 1 from Guyana, and another from Puerto Rico, all aged. So 6 different spirits, 3 on each side.
Transparency, Oliver. What do you got?
What's that?
You have something to tell us?
No, I was just listening.
Yeah.
I don't know anything.
Yeah, and the ginger comes from actually a guy from Brooklyn. I don't know if you guys know Josh Morton, who has Barrows in Tents. I'll do a shout out for him because Josh hooks us up doing the maceration for us, which is a fresh ginger maceration, which is difficult. So thank you, Josh.
How long have you had this out here? How long have you had the Hercules Mulligan going?
We launched it Black Friday, right after Thanksgiving. Literally, so this is our second batch. I mean, we sold out our first batch, as a lot of people know, and we just came out with our second batch 2 weeks ago, and we're well along our way selling out of that batch as well. So it's doing well so far.
Yeah, no, I know some people that would really like this.
Cool.
Me too. I think hopefully they're all out there watching right now. We got one more here. Scott Rothenberg, Casablanca, all the gin joints. Come on. Steve referenced that. Star Wars, the Mo Isley Cantina, Goodwill Hunting in the bar, The Shining, James Bond.
Yeah.
Not third. Pretty good.
Yeah.
So, guys, do we have any more? Keith, do we have more coming in? We'll see. If we don't have any more, we're going to have to pick a winner here. Who gets a free Flaviar membership? Oliver, do you want a Flaviar membership?
I want it. Yeah.
Guys can get confirmation that Oliver can have a Flaviar membership. Oh, hold on. Jeff Hello, Jeff. Wait, is this a repeat? No. Okay, Casablanca, gin joints, Raiders of the Lost Ark, drinking contest, Animal House, the Jack Daniels chug. What's that? You remember this? Animal House?
Yeah, when I forget. I think it's.
I don't remember that.
Let me look it up. I think it's.
And Bridesmaids, Star Wars Cantina, Bridesmaids, airplane scene. Oh, good one. Good one. Steve, is there anything you can do with this besides? Oh, go ahead.
Jack Daniels' Animal House is Belushi. It's Bluto. That was Bluto.
Over?
What? No, that was Bluto.
Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
Yeah, I don't remember what part it was actually though where they did it.
Steve, can you? Oh, by the way, Oliver just got word from Flaviar saying you've just been given a membership to Flaviar.
Amazing. What exactly does that mean?
Every quarter, you're going to get a package. It's going to have a full bottle. It's going to have stuff in there, other things and membership things. You're in. You're in the club.
I'm joking.
Okay, so Steve, is there something we can do with Hercules Mulligan if we don't want to just drink it neat? Can
Sure.
you mix something? Can you do a little ginger ale or something? Or
Tastes great on the rocks. It tastes great with just soda, club soda, ginger ale. One drink that Grisha came up with is something we call the Colonial Courage, which is with cider, alcoholic or non-alcoholic cider. Tastes great. I mean, it tastes really good. Ounce and a half with 3.5, 4 ounces of cider. Delicious on the rocks. You twist the lemon, twist of orange.
By the way, I'm going to throw this out. Keith, we can't keep track of this. Can you send me the list of the 2 or 3 that we like the best in terms of the possible winners? Oh, there's another one coming in right now from Greg Peak on Facebook. Ooh. Tombstone, Doc Holliday spinning his cup like a gun. Come on, Val Kilmer, dude. Come on. Indiana Jones, a Mongolian bar, Animal House, Toga Party. Top Gun, singing "You've Lost That Love and Feeling."
All right.
Greg Peak in there. So Keith, can you send me the 3 that we would be the contenders and what we liked, and then we'll pick from there. Oliver, what else you got, man?
Other ones?
No, what else you got just in general in life, philosophy?
Life?
Are you in New York, Oliver? Where are you?
I'm in Los Angeles. Los Angeles.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, I'll answer that. First, I got Ghostbusters coming up. That's coming out. It was supposed to come out this summer. I did a small thing in Ghostbusters, which was really fun. The new Ghostbusters movie. But I don't know I think it got moved because of the coronavirus. So I think they're not going to have it come out till next year.
They based it in New York? Is it based in New York again, or is it somewhere else?
We shot it in, no, it actually doesn't take place in actually, I don't even know what I can say about that movie.
Got it.
I really get nervous with that kind
What happens at the end?
But yeah, it was really fun. It was really, really fun to do. I just did 4 days on it. It was really awesome though. So just to be a part of that world and those characters.
Yeah.
By the way, I have to reiterate, and Steve, I know you and I were talking off camera about stuff to watch. Anybody that watches Mindhunter, the show Mindhunter about the serial killers, Oliver did an episode, season 2, right?
Season 2, yeah. I didn't think about that for a second, yeah.
Played David Berkowitz, son of Sam.
Cool.
And it was so freaky to me to watch it because I didn't even recognize you, man.
You want me to do it right now?
You look a little like Berkowitz.
Let's see it.
Got that kind of
do a little son of Sam.
Son of Sam thing.
Hold on, here we go. So he did this guest spot on there, and really, man, I was blown away. I was blown away by how great it was. If you're out there, if you haven't watched Mindhunter, great series. First off, yeah, amazing show, and Oliver killed it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it was really cool. But also, the thing is that show is I got to be in like this amazing prosthetic makeup. This guy named Kazu Suji is like the prosthetic makeup artist of the century. I mean, he's one of the best ever to do it. And he did Gary Oldman's Winston Churchill a few years ago. He won the Oscar.
Yeah.
He just did what was that Charlize Theron movie that came out this year?
The one about Fox News.
Yes. Bombshell. He did that. He won the Oscar this year. This guy was unbelievable. The makeup that he did.
Like this. Your face was kind of pulled back, right? You got that?
Yeah, total makeup. I mean, my whole face was completely like little plastic pieces. This guy spent 3 months working on pieces on me and had like the best makeup art. I mean, these guys, he had guys working under him that are amazing in their own right. And they were like, the way they would talk about this guy was like, it felt like you were working with John Lennon. I mean, it was like literally this guy was that good at his job.
But when you're doing the role, is the makeup a part? Do you feel it or you lose it?
No, you feel it. I mean, and it gives you this feeling of like, you feel like you're hidden, which is an amazing thing as an actor because you get to be like, you feel a little freer than you or not a little bit, a lot freer than you normally would. And I mean, I remember when I auditioned for it, I was like, God, I couldn't figure out. I was like, I watched that show and I was like, how the hell am I going to look like David Berkowitz? He's such a unique looking person. And I would like get my hair a certain way and I would try to get his mannerisms, but it was really difficult. And then I found out after, I was like, oh, I'm doing this crazy makeup. And on top of that, you got David Fincher, who is the king of serial killer movies. I mean, Seven and
he directed that episode.
Yeah, he directed that. He was incredible. That was an incredible experience. Yeah. He did. What was it? He did Seven, and I'm blanking on the other one, the serial killer movie. Jake Gyllenhaal and
Zodiac.
Zodiac, which is an incredible movie.
All right, guys, we got to vote here. We got to vote here on our top. We've narrowed it down to 3. The winner's going to get a Flaviar membership. Steve, you ready?
Yep.
Are you ready? All right, I'm going to go through. Number 1, we got Ken Katz. Ken Katz says, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Marion Shots Contest, The Shining scene with Jack Nicholson and Lloyd in the bar, Will and the Harvard grad in Good Will Hunting, and then The Wedding Singer, drunk Adam Sandler singing at the bar mitzvah, and E.T. drinking, E.T. Number 2 is Cecilia. Her top 5 is The Shining, Nicholson at the bar, same one, Train Spotting, Begbie chugging the pint, then throwing the glass into the crowd, Shaun of the Dead, drinking pints and eating peanuts in the pub while the zombies are breaking their way in, Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, the opening scene, drinking scene with Marion. And then Jimmy North on Facebook, The Big Lebowski knocks Harrington laughing scene, Rushmore Bill Murray on the diving board scene, and Roadhouse, any scene with the bar in the cage. He only put 3 in, but I guess those 3 are so good. So is it going to be Jimmy North, Cecilia, or Ken Katz? Steve?
I'm going to go with Ken. Ken Katz.
Who was the
like
second? Who was the middle?
Cecilia.
Cecilia,
The Shining, Train Spotting, Shaun of the Dead, Indiana Jones.
Yeah. I got to go with either her. I mean, I'm blanking on the names, but the one who did The Big Lebowski I really like, but they didn't have 5 of them. How can you win that on that? I like Cecilia.
All right, I'm going to go with James North. So you know what that means?
Oh, no.
They all win.
Right, tie. 3 Flaviar memberships.
There we go.
Now, by the way, I'm authorizing this. I don't even care if Flaviar cares.
Everyone got an A. Everyone got an A.
They can have mine if not. I'd rather have
take Oliver. So, guys, Flaviar reach out to you. You're going to get your Flaviar membership. Congratulations. Hey, this is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Steve, Oliver Cooper, I want to raise a.
Yes. Thanks so much for the booze. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then, again, I got to say to all of you out there, anybody having a hard time, probably a lot of people having a hard time, we're just trying to do this to have a little bit of fun. We're hopefully going to do it again next week. We'll see. Everything's fluid. It changes, hour to hour, I think. But it was cool hanging out with you, and great seeing you, Steve. Great seeing you, Oliver.
Likewise.
Steve, how do I get this? I get a bottle of this. I was going to send one to my mom.
Flaviar. Right online. Yeah. Right online.
You're a member.
Or HerculesMulliganCompany.com or Flaviar.com.
Okay.
Bingo.
Awesome.
$38.
Perfect.
Shows up in the mail.
Perfect.
Order 2.
I want to again thank you guys. If you didn't win today in the contest, please check out the Flaviar Membership Club. Check out Hercules Mulligan. Subscribe to Flaviar and Collider's channels on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Follow me on the Twitter and the Instagram at The Imbiber. Oliver, where do they follow you?
At the Oliver Cooper, Instagram, Twitter.
Steve?
I'm really not great at it, but yeah, I'm on there.
Hercules Mulligan.
Stay safe, everybody.
You too.
All right. Take it easy, guys.
See you guys.